A lot of the pig iron, which is used to make steel, comes out of the Ukraine and Russia.
Interesting.
And
both countries.
Both countries. And so there's been a real constraint on what we can get for pig iron out of those two countries.
Why do they call it pig iron?
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure, but it's, kind of a feeder for making steel. And the alternative is to use scrap. So that's going to have a big impact on scrap prices because that's going to be in much higher demand because they can't get the pig iron. So that's affecting steel in general. The Canadian market has been demonstrably impacted because a lot of the raw material for titanium comes out of Russia. A lot of the sponge used.
Not Ukraine, just Russia mainly.
Primarily Russia. And we've already seen certain mills say that they only going to do business with contract customers. They're not going to do sales anymore to customers. But availability is going to be a real challenge.
So it's the only place we can get some of these things is Russia?
Certain grades of titanium, yes, but a lot of the raw material, it's a matter of capacity in an already constrained market. If I don't know what the numbers are, but let's just say it's 30% of the raw material, that's a very impactful, percentage. And even if it's, 10 or 15, to take 10 or 15% of supply out of the picture for an already, overheated market, it's really challenging.
Wow. And I heard on a podcast about nickel. So nickel is another big thing from Russia.
You can find nickel, element all over the world. The challenge with nickel is it's traded on the London Metal Exchange, and there are a lot of, commodity speculative buyers of it. They don't take inventory. They're just hedging it for, pricing, trying to arbitrage the price. And
that's different from some of the other metals that you work with, though? I think they would be similar.
It doesn't have the same volume that nickel does. So there's cobalt, chromium, molybdenum, vanadium. There are other elements that are also traded, but nickel is by far the biggest one. And nickel is used in the lithium ion batteries and, for electric cars.
Are nickels actually made of nickel?
No.
Okay.
I think at one point there was an element and maybe a very small element today, but not much of it is.
Okay. So a huge thing is the lithium ion batteries. So that's going to be hurting.
That's a constant growing demand for nickel. So
and nickel goes into your bars as well, right?
It's a big component for stainless steels and obviously nickel, aerospace and nickel grade alloys, Inconels, Manels, nickel 718, 600, X750. So these alloys are getting impacted in a exponential factor because of the supply and demand type kind of conundrum that we're in right now. And this conflict with Ukraine and Russia is just adding fuel to the fire.
What else? Is there anything else that you see firsthand that's coming from this conflict as far as metals or your business?
Not that has been played out yet. These are just things that we're seeing and hearing from our metal suppliers right now and people that I know in the industry, all the way into the mining aspect of it. But it remains to be seen, how long and how much of an impact, this is going to have. And it really depends on the conflict and, what the length is and the severity is of this going forward. So it really is. It's crazy. But, there's a thought out there that, somehow the world is going back to being more provincial and, stateside and, globalization is bad. And we're a connected world. There's no way around it.
Sure.
So conflicts like this and, and issues like this happen and there are ripple effects throughout.